Destroy fatigue fast with this Japanese hack might sound like clickbait, but here's the uncomfortable truth. Fatigue isn't a condition. It's a habit your brain has been trained to repeat. The more you try to fix it with sleep or caffeine, the worse it gets. That's because the real solution has nothing to do with how long you rest and everything to do with how you reset. This forgotten Japanese method flips your internal energy switch in just minutes. And once you try it, your body stops craving rest and starts demanding action. Most people think they're just naturally tired. But the truth is, their minds have been conditioned into a low-power loop. They follow the same routine day after day, collapsing into bed and calling it sleep, but never really getting rest. Over time, this pattern drains not only their bodies, but their mental energy as well. It becomes normal to wake up feeling heavy and unfocused even after a full night. The Japanese view of fatigue is completely different. They believe that feeling tired isn't a sign of weakness, but a signal that your routine is broken. In their culture, sleep is treated as a sacred reset rather than an afterthought. By protecting those final minutes before bed, they preserve energy for the next day instead of letting it leak out overnight. This small shift transforms how deeply the mind and body rest. The problem in the West is our obsession with stimulation. We finish our days with screens, stress, and noise, then expect sleep to magically recharge us. But when you enter bed agitated, your brain carries that state into the night. You may be lying still, but your thoughts are running marathons, which means your energy isn't being restored. You wake up tired and reach for more coffee to push through, repeating the same routine. This Japanese hack interrupts that cycle. Instead of collapsing, you take a few intentional moments to guide your mind into calm. That means your sleep becomes true rest. Your body stops burning energy on background noise, and you stop waking up so tired. It sounds small, but when applied consistently, this routine creates a compound effect. One that can restore focus, mood, and physical vitality faster than most people think possible. The Japanese don't treat energy as something you chase. They treat it as something you preserve. Their entire approach to rest is built around the concept of balance. And one of the most powerful ideas behind it is called kokoro, which represents the unity of mind, body, and spirit. When one part is off, everything feels off. That's why you can get 8 hours of sleep and still wake up completely tired. Western culture separates mental and physical exhaustion, but the Japanese see them as one system. If your thoughts are chaotic, your body will feel it. If your routine is scattered, your focus will crumble. And if your emotions go unchecked before sleep, you'll drag that noise straight into the next day. That's not just philosophy, it's biology. Because your nervous system responds to input, not intention. Kokoro isn't about perfection. It's about restoring internal alignment so your energy flows the way it's meant to. That alignment begins and ends with how you transition into rest. The Japanese understand that the hour before sleep determines whether your brain heals or hides, whether it resets or repeats. And when you get that hour right, you stop being tired. You start being sharp again. You don't need to move to a monastery or meditate for an hour. You just need a smarter routine. One that doesn't leave your brain wired before bed or your body scrambling for energy in the morning. Once kokoro is activated, even small changes in how you rest can create massive shifts in how you feel. And this is where the real fatigue destroyer begins to take shape. This is where things get practical. The Japanese developed a short yet powerful routine that takes less than 5 minutes and completely shifts how your body handles energy. It's not a workout. It's not a supplement. It's a mental reset designed to clear the noise that keeps you tired even after a full night of sleep. The simplicity is what makes it work, and what makes most people ignore it. You start by sitting still, but not passively. The ritual begins with focused breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth, slow and deliberate. This isn't just to calm you down, It's to signal your nervous system that it's time to shift gears. Most people go to bed tense without even noticing. That tension steals rest and hijacks your energy before morning even arrives. Next, you scan the body for pressure points: tight jaw, hunched shoulders, clenched hands. You loosen them intentionally, slowly. It may sound small, but this tells the brain, we're safe. We can power down. That's the trigger most sleep routines miss. They focus on sleep hygiene, but forget the language your nervous system actually understands. This is the difference between collapsing and recovering. Finally, you bring your attention to the breath again, counting just a few cycles, not to meditate but to anchor. When your mind is still holding on to the day, rest becomes shallow. But this anchoring forces the mental release your brain needs to enter deep sleep. The whole ritual takes less than 5 minutes, but the result is massive. You wake up with real energy, not borrowed, not forced, real. This 5-minute Japanese routine isn't magic, it's neuroscience. When you slow your breathing and relax key tension points before sleep, you're activating your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the body's rest and digest mode, and it's the only time real recovery happens. Without triggering this system, your brain stays alert even while you're lying still. That's why so many people wake up tired, no matter how many hours they sleep. What's wild is how fast the shift happens. In as little as 1 minute of focused breath and body scanning, stress hormones drop, heart rate slows, and brainwave activity begins to change. This tells your entire system it's safe to let go. That release is what unlocks actual rest. Not surface-level stillness, but deep neurological recalibration, the kind that restores real energy by morning. The brain loves patterns, and this routine gives it a reliable one. When repeated nightly, it creates a cue that sleep is coming, and more importantly, that sleep will be safe. This eliminates the anxious drift that keeps your brain spinning long after lights out. Over time, your system stops fighting sleep and starts anticipating it, making your rest deeper and your recovery faster. The most important part? You don't need tech, noise machines, or supplements. Just 5 minutes. And the benefits don't just show up in the morning. You'll notice fewer mood swings, more stable focus, and a steadier supply of energy throughout the day. Not because you're doing more, but because you're finally recovering the way your brain was built to. If there's one silent habit destroying your energy, it's how you carry tension without noticing. Microstress builds up throughout the day. Tight shoulders, shallow breathing, racing thoughts, and by the time you go to bed, your system is still in fight mode. You may be lying down, but your body hasn't been given permission to rest. And that's exactly why you wake up tired. Most people try to recover by sleeping longer, but that only masks the problem. More hours don't help if your sleep quality is wrecked by constant background tension. Your nervous system doesn't care about time. It cares about signals. If your routine sends a message of pressure and urgency, your brain never fully powers down. And without that reset, your energy just keeps leaking. The Japanese method flips the script. It doesn't try to overpower fatigue. It removes the blocks causing it. The 5-minute ritual is a direct interruption to that tension loop. It breaks the mental and physical buildup before it into exhaustion. When you do this consistently, you stop letting stress ride into your sleep and start letting your system do what it's designed to actually rest. Think of it like clearing emotional static from your internal frequency. The more you disrupt this one habit of tension carryover, the more your baseline energy rises. You won't just feel better after sleep. You'll start feeling stronger all day. Less dragging, more momentum. And all because you finally created a routine that tells your brain the war is over before bed. One of the reasons this Japanese routine is so effective is its flexibility. While it's most powerful before sleep, it's not limited to nighttime. You can use it midday, when your focus crashes, after work when your brain is overloaded, or any time you feel that slow creep of exhaustion pulling you down. It's a reset button for your nervous system, not a one-time ritual. Midday is actually one of the best times to use it. That's when most people feel drained, foggy, and tired, reaching for another coffee or sugar hit. But instead of pushing through, you take 5 quiet minutes to reset. You breathe. You release tension. You anchor. The result? Your brain gets back the energy it lost to constant low-grade stress, and you didn't even have to nap. After work is another perfect moment. Your body might be still, but your mind is still racing through conversations, deadlines, and tasks. Without a routine to shut that down, you bring it all into your evening and straight into your sleep. That's what ruins rest without you even noticing. But 5 minutes of reset creates a clean break, giving your system space to recover and recharge. And of course, just before bed is the most obvious and powerful window. This is where the ritual becomes a bridge from stress into actual rest. Instead of tossing and turning, your brain slides smoothly into sleep. You stop waking up in a fog. You stop dreading mornings. Because your routine is no longer passive, it's intentional. And that intention becomes your secret weapon against fatigue. Here's what makes this Japanese routine so addictive. The results don't take weeks. Within just a few sessions, you'll notice changes that are hard to ignore. You'll wake up feeling lighter, clearer, and not immediately tired. Your mornings stop being a mental battle, and your body doesn't feel like it's dragging itself into the day. That's because real rest is finally happening, not just sleep. People often report sharper focus, better emotional control, and a strange calm that carries through their day. It's not because they're doing less. It's because their energy isn't being burned on tension they didn't know they were holding. And the best part? Once your system gets a taste of that clarity, it starts craving the routine. Your body begins to recognize the reset. You'll also find that small stresses don't stick the way they used to. The ritual trains your nervous system to return to balance faster. You don't just avoid burnout. You become more resilient to the noise that used to drain you. This is the part most people don't expect. They think they're just fixing tiredness, but they end up rebuilding their baseline for energy. And none of it requires big changes. No supplements, no apps, no lifestyle overhaul. Just 5 minutes of intention, practiced daily, that signals your body to let go. You're not just getting better sleep. You're finally learning how to recover properly. And when recovery becomes normal, fatigue becomes rare. Despite how fast it works and how simple it is, most people won't stick with this Japanese routine. Why? Because it's quiet. It doesn't feel like a fix. There's no dramatic surge of energy, no flashing lights, no instant dopamine hit. We're conditioned to crave stimulation, even when we're tired. So something this calm gets dismissed as too easy or too slow. People would rather scroll until they pass out than take 5 minutes to reset. They'll keep reaching for caffeine, trying new supplements, blaming bad sleep, or buying gadgets that promise deeper rest. All while ignoring the fact that their nervous system is stuck in a loop, and that loop can't be broken from the outside. It needs to be interrupted from within, and that requires presence. This routine works best for people who are done lying to themselves. The ones who've tried everything and still wake up drained. Who've realized that more hours in bed don't fix the weight they carry into it. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. About creating just enough space between the day and the night for your system to breathe again. And that's why most will skip it. It asks you to slow down before sleep, to turn inward instead of tuning out. But the ones who accept that challenge are the ones who change. Not overnight, but fast enough to never want to go back to being tired all the time. Now you know the truth. Tired isn't just a feeling, it's a pattern. One that's been reinforced by noise, stress, and a total lack of recovery. but you also know the way out. This Japanese routine, simple as it seems, is more than a trick. It's a quiet rebellion against everything that's been draining your energy without your permission. You don't need to wait until burnout hits. You don't need another crash to wake up to the fact that your current routine isn't working. 5 minutes a day is all it takes to shift your nervous system, reclaim deep rest, and start waking up without that familiar weight in your chest. Not because your life changed, but because how you sleep finally supports you. This isn't about discipline or willpower. It's about control. You can let the world dictate how drained you feel each day, or you can build a reset into your life that makes energy your default. No one is going to do it for you. No alarm will save you. No product will teach your body how to rest. But this practice can. So here it is. Use it or stay tired. Keep living inside the loop of exhaustion, pretending more hours or more hacks will fix it. Or start doing the one thing almost no one is willing to do. Pause, reset, and let your system recover the way it was designed to. You're not broken. You're just out of rhythm. And the rhythm begins with one quiet, intentional choice tonight.